Hello and welcome to the Cyber Den, your weekly dose of tech and games. I, Jake, will be chatting with James Lantz of Klei Entertainment, one of the technical designers and programmers behind the upcoming turn-based stealth game Invisible, Inc., officially launching on Steam for PC, Mac and Linux on May the 12th. Thanks for coming, mate.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, James, please tell everyone, what is the plot of Invisible, Inc.?
So the plot of Invisible, Inc. is you are a operator in a secret underground agency called Invisible, Inc. And your agency is raided by the mega corporations, basically. They somehow found you, they snuffed you out. You used to have a network of highly trained operatives, but now you're down to just a handful of those who could escape, and your boss central. So you're trying to rebuild Invisible, Inc. and find a permanent home for your supercomputer Incognita, who is running out of time to stay alive and functional.
What great features will Invisible, Inc. offer? For example, I do like the sound of the randomly generated levels, and the cutscenes look brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so we have some 3D in-house cutscenes, it's the first time we've ever done that, so we're pretty excited about that. In terms of gameplay, it's like a tactical espionage game, so we have lots of different characters, lots of ways to play the game and start playing the game. We have turn-based tactical strategy, so it's a game about collecting information, about planning your next move, about, very carefully sort of figuring out what you want to do and then executing it, and the exciting pitfalls that can happen during that process. We also have campaign generation options for more hardcore strategy gamers who want to customize the way they play the game. We have lots of ways to, change up the way the game works and sort of tailor it to your personal taste. So we're really excited about that stuff.
There are 5 game modes and many characters offered in Invisible, Inc. Please tell us more about them.
Yeah, so we have 10 characters, which is you start out with 2 characters in every play session. You can go up to 4. So we're hoping that by having a lot of characters, a lot of different ways to start the game, we're offering a lot of replayability along with the procedural levels, right? So every time you start the game, you have a different starting point, you have a different campaign, you have a different way to play the game. So we think it'll have a lot of replayability on that level. We also have, like you were saying, this sort of like procedural level generation that we're really excited about. Every time you start the game, you have different levels, you have different corporations you can go to. So, we're just hoping it offers a lot of replayability, all these different features and content.
Let's discuss the soundtrack of the game. What music style have the composers gone for, and what were their inspiration?
Absolutely. So our soundtrack is by our in-house composer, Vince DeVera. He is a genius. It sounds so good. Basically, so the interesting thing about the soundtrack is that it is dynamic. So it's not just a song that plays during every level. Each corporation has their own individual song, and that music is changing as you go through the game. So if you're starting out in the corporation, it's a little ambient. It's kind of inspired by ambient FTL style sounds. And as you go along, it becomes a bit more spy and espionage. As you might get caught, or you fight, or you evade the enforcers and the corporation's guards, you get into a place where it's got drums. It's starting to get very high paced and intense. That part of the soundtrack was inspired a lot more by action movies and spy espionage soundtracks. It's got some horns, it's got some drums, and we really tried to keep it so the soundtrack was pacing what you were doing. It was keeping up with how exciting your game was. So if your game was thoughtful and pensive, it would be a little slower, and if your game got really exciting, it would start getting fast and drums. So I'm really excited about showing that off.
James, thank you so much for coming to this interview on Siren FM 107.3.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And I would also like to thank my dear listeners out there for once again tuning into this great interview on the Cyber Den, your weekly dose of tech and games. This is Jake signing off. See you later.